Hello and welcome to a very special day here at Jardin du Mayfair. We have an incredible guest here with us, and our first special guest, the honour goes to the lovely Phil Reid.
Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Welcome, Phil.
Jardin du Mayfair.
It feels so lovely to have someone sat here with me. This is the dream, you know, this is what we want to be doing, collaborating with other creators, and thank you so much for coming.
It was, you didn't have to say much. As soon as I knew what kind of watches were here that I would be seeing today, I was, here in a heartbeat. So you're welcome.
Very good. Thank you, Phil. So Phil is a content creator and he's been around for quite a long time. So Phil, please tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah, so I've got a YouTube channel. I create watch content. I show what I do every week. If I buy a watch, if I sell a watch, I try and capture as much as I can. I also sell watches as well. So I kind of do what you guys do, but on a much smaller scale.
So yeah, I've been watching a lot of your videos, and if you don't mind me saying, I thought what was really cool about it is you've managed to day in the life of a watch dealer so well, and you come across so well in your videos. So yeah, we're delighted to have you here, and the vlog style that you do is incredible. You sort of have a camera facing you, and you're sort of walking around with it. You're often getting on the train, that kind of thing. Yeah. So tell us a bit about how you sort of came up with that, because no one had done it in watches, I believe, before you, or certainly not on our side of the pond.
Yeah, I don't think many smaller dealers had ever done it. So we see like you guys now, all the bigger dealers in the UK and in the US. You see those guys and like they've got all these watches and it looks glamorous and it looks amazing, but no one ever has shown what it's like to actually start from day zero.
Yes.
So I literally was just like, okay, I'm now going to try my hand at being a watch dealer. I love watches, and from literally day one, I've shown every single step of the way. I've shown some successes, some failures. I've tried to show everything. So I feel like it's been interesting for people just because it's very different.
Yes, absolutely. And I think you've done an excellent job at that, because I think you give a kind of sort of everyday open book look into it all. I watched a video of yours yesterday where you needed to find a small strap for a customer, and you went all around town trying to find this strap, and I thought that was fantastic to show, you know, the realities of what it can sometimes be to try and get that deal over the line. And it's a very, very clever and an honest channel, so it's very good. Thanks. So we have some special watches here today that Phil has kindly picked out, so we're going to have a chat through those and find out why Phil loves them. So Phil, let's start down this end. We have the GMT Master 2 Batman.
Yes, and it's a very common sport model Rolex. The reason why I picked this one is because this was the watch that really kind of triggered everything for me. This was the watch in like, I think it was 2013 when it first came out, that I was like, if I can ever have my hands on that watch, I'll feel like I've made it. Granted, I was a young boy at the time, but this was the watch for me that I was just like, this is the I've made it watch. I think it's a classic. I think it's such a popular, honestly amazing Rolex.
So I have to say that I'm showing my age now, that I'm a bit older than you, but I'm in total agreement, because actually my first version of the exact same feeling to a watch was the 116710 LN. So it was the black version. They didn't have the Batman back then, and for some reason the GMT, the complication, everything just set something off in me. So I'm completely with you on that one. Okay, cool. So let's go on to what do we have next. So why did you pick this one?
It's a random watch to pick, but this for me is like, this is like my guilty pleasure watch, right?
Yeah.
If like I could get away with wearing this and no one would judge me, I'd totally wear it. Yes, it's like not the most masculine of watches because it's got diamonds around the bezel and it's a 37mm precious metal watch.
Yeah.
But I really like it.
Absolutely.
I've got little wrists. I think it would look great on me.
I think it would look fantastic on you. So this is the 37mm. It's the 50th anniversary, rose gold royal oak, and it has the diamonds around the bezel, so it's a real hitter.
It's a big hitting watch.
It is indeed.
But not many guys would wear this.
No, agreed.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, would look good on you though, and we'll have you try it on definitely today. So yeah, we'll move on to this because I was very interested that you chose this actually, because this is also right up my street. So yeah, this is the new day date with the fluted bezel. So it's the platinum fluted. We didn't know whether a fluted would come, and here it is. So yeah, please let us know.
So this for me is a watch that's become a new grail watch, if you will. And I've always loved the smooth bezel platinum day date. And I've always thought, I wonder what it would look like with the new fluted platinum bezel. And now that it's come out, I'm trying to find words for this watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to really understand how aesthetically nice this watch is unless you see it and actually feel it and touch it.
Agreed.
It's not just the weight of the watch, but it's how the ice blue dial looks in the light. And with the fluted bezel as well, how the light shines off the bezel it's really, really incredible.
Yeah.
When would you wear this kind of watch? I was trying to think when I would.
Yeah, so it's a very good shout, because the thing is people often say, you know, rose gold would be like your night out watch.
Yeah.
But I think still the platinum would be a bit more of a kind of undercover night out watch.
And I agree. And there's a lot of people that know that this is a platinum watch, right? Yeah. But there's also probably more people that would have no idea that this is platinum.
Yes.
They think it was steel, right?
Yeah, it could be a date just from across the room.
Yeah. So I like that it is a flashy, very expensive watch, but also it kind of does go under the radar a little bit.
Absolutely, I agree. Also, another thing that I love about this watch is the fact that it has the Roman numerals. So I think the Roman numerals are actually, for me, what set that watch off.
Yeah.
Because it's just classy. And you could jeans in a t-shirt that watch.
You could.
You could.
You could.
If you were that way inclined.
But this is why it's my grail watch, because right now I don't think I could pull that. I couldn't afford it now. Yeah. And I couldn't pull it off right now, I don't think. But
we wanted you to pick a few things that, you know, you might aspire to going down the way, and we have some of those coming up now.
We do.
So let's go for this. So I love why you picked this. So yeah, please tell us. This is the Rolex Daytona with the meteorite dial.
Well, the first reason I picked this watch is because I've never seen it before. I've seen it on the Oyster Flex. I've never seen it with the full precious metal bracelet. This for me is the out of this world watch, and we know why. The meteorite dial. You probably know more about the finite resources of the dial material. Yeah. But I think it's a really cool, very different watch.
Yeah. So Rolex, they bought the meteorite. It's called the Gibeon meteorite because that's where it landed, and the meteorite is, as you say, it's not infinite. So they will actually run out of it eventually.
Yeah.
And we have the 60th anniversary coming up.
Yes.
Is there anything that you'd like to see on a Daytona for the 60th anniversary?
I want to see the Hulk toner.
Okay.
I want to see a full green. No, I'm joking. I don't want to see that. No, I asked Nico the same question, and he really wants a precious metal Daytona with the ceramic bezel.
Right. Okay.
He feels like it's time, and you know, I kind of agree. I'd like to see it, but do you know what? Whatever Rolex do with the Daytona is always.
Yeah.
I know what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you want?
I want, this is the first time I'm saying this on camera, but I want a 41mm Rolex Daytona, which I realise is very controversial. But seeing as the jump from 40 to 41 on the Submariner was so successful, I think that on a Daytona it would be really something. But I don't know if Rolex would ever mess with the Daytona because it seems to be there.
I can't imagine they'd do it.
Now we are going to head into the stratosphere with the RM35 Ultimate Edition.
I don't really know why I've chosen this. I just wanted to.
Touch it.
I wanted to touch it. I wanted to touch an RM. I've never sold an RM myself. It's a different level of watch dealing, and for people to own watches like this, it is the stratosphere. It is next level. But how much does this weigh? Because it is just.
Okay, so I'm so glad you asked. So the movement alone is 4.3 grams. The whole watch weighs less than a 50 pence piece.
The whole watch?
Yeah. And it was also created very specially. So basically, there was the Baby Nadal, which was the original RM35. That's like the OG. And then they made an Ultimate Edition in only 35 pieces, and you are holding that. So it's the 35, so they gave it 35 pieces. And I think what is so special about this watch is the journey that it's had in terms of being created. So actually, it was given to an Olympic skier, and he was doing slalom. So I don't know if I've pronounced that right, but it's where you go the fastest you can possibly go. And Richard Mille actually made the watch for him, and he broke like 6 or 7 prototypes, and they're actually still up in the mountains now because they never found them again, and they kept trying to make the case stronger using different materials, making sure that it wouldn't break. And they finally got to this, and he has done many of his slalom routes, breaking world records in this.
That's amazing, but how did it break?
So I guess that this is the thing we love so much about Richard Mille, is they do many prototypes of their pieces to get them perfect every time. So I think it would have been, you know, first up the case, then the strap, then whatever it was, but it just kept having to be refined. And that's what I love about the brand, because I think they relentlessly will not give up until it does what they wanted it to do.
For you keen skiers out there, you can slalom away. And
or mainly just people sitting at a pool party, probably.
Probably that, yeah, really cool watch. Just wanted to try it on, feel it. So,
you know, I'm very fortunate to get to spend a lot of time with these pieces, and what's so fantastic about this watch is that every single time I pick it up, I still go, oh my God, you know, so it's like you still get that feeling every single time. So I cannot imagine what it would be like owning one. Totally.
With RM, I love the fact that professional athletes will wear them during their sport. Like American football, tennis, skiing. It's really, really cool. I'm sure many more sports.
Absolutely.
I don't think we have that in any other. You couldn't just whack this on and play a tennis match.
Yeah, exactly. So I heard in the NBA they have a fine for them because they're not supposed to wear them, but the fine's like $5,000, and obviously if you're in the NBA, you don't care. So they just wear them as a kind of like badge of honor, almost like how people do with the parking tickets in Mayfair. Last up, you picked a in the moon grail for yourself.
Yeah. So this black ceramic AP perpetual calendar skeleton open work. I mean,
it's an open work skeleton perpetual calendar.
And the reason I didn't choose this as my grail and I chose this as my grail is because I can't see a this life where I would ever get a chance to own this watch. And that sounds quite sad, actually. But I think it's just too far out of my league. I just don't. This is my unobtainable watch. I just don't think I can ever. I just don't think I'll ever get it.
I think you can.
Oscar, maybe one day.
I think you can. You're a young man.
Maybe. But for me, it's I get asked the question all the time, what is your grail? And do you know what? Often I do say this because it's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
I know it can stop you for words, that watch. Absolutely. So an interesting thing about this piece, the black ceramic is the kind of key to its speciality. The reason being is that AP actually worked effortlessly, like time and time again, to get it perfect. The finishing, they wanted it to be exactly the same as on their stainless steel. Their stainless steel finishing is widely considered to be the absolute best in the game, and if you look closely on that, and of course we'll show you the audience, you'll see that the grain going down, even the bracelet, is exactly the same on a stainless steel. How they've done that on ceramic, I have no idea, but my goodness, they've done it well. Yeah, beautiful watch. And I think of the variations of this, where you have like the blue ceramic that was released last year, the white ceramic as well. I think the black is just, it tops all three for me. So, yeah. I'm so happy you chose it. Yeah, same. Yeah, fantastic watch. Yeah. So, if you haven't checked out Phil's channel, please do. We will link everything in the description, and also our video together on Phil's channel. So, he kindly invited me onto his channel and we did an amazing video. So, please do check that out. Lastly, I do have a few surprises. One is in the form of what I'm wearing today. So, in our interview, you asked me what my absolute grail would be. I did. Yeah. And today I have it with us. It is the 5650 Advanced Research. And this is, for me, the total end game. This is your end game? Absolutely, yeah. The Terminator. Yeah. It's a beautiful watch. It really is. Yeah. And you were telling me earlier, like, not many people ever get the chance to see this. Even online, you were saying. No, you just don't see this online. Absolutely. So you simply don't see it available anywhere. You know, it's much mythical, the Advanced Research. Yeah, it is a bit of a mythical watch, this. Yeah. I don't think many people, well, I'm sure if you're into watches, you'd know that this exists. But if you show just the average Joe, they'd be like, is that real? Like, is that actually like, like a quarter of the dial's missing? Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you click the hour over there, which we'll do for you guys on the camera as well, you can actually see the travel time moving around, but it shows you the mechanism of it doing. So hence the name Advanced Research. Patek tried to break the mold on all the Advanced Research models, and that, in my opinion, is the daddy. It's
the daddy. So this is your grail.
Absolutely, it's my grail. Yeah, every time I see it, I just want to sing, and I can't sing. So yeah, it sets something off in me. So I wanted to show it to you.
Good choice.
Share it with you, man. And then lastly, the surprises that we have for you today, which you haven't seen, are coming right up.
Can I guess?
Absolutely, you can guess. Yeah. Okay. I tell you what. Let me give you the brands.
Okay, give me a brand.
Okay, so to give you half a chance.
Yeah.
We have a Rolex.
Yeah.
An AP.
Yeah.
And a Rolex.
You've got a platinum Daytona.
I'm afraid no.
Daytona.
I can give you. So
Okay.
I watched a video of yours this morning, and it had your favourite Rolexes in every category. And when you went right up the top, it was your second favourite.
Can I have another clue?
Yeah, of course you can. You may find a pot of gold at the bottom.
No.
Yeah.
Get that rainbow Daytona out.
You mentioned it, and I bought it for you because I knew.
Is it yellow or red?
Yeah, it's yellow. So I thought that we'd actually have you try this one on because it might be a bit big for you, but let's give it a go.
Let's do it.
I know you mentioned that you hadn't seen it. Please let me give you some space here.
I'll take off this worthless Submariner steel.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they say if you don't have a sub, you don't have a collection. So the sub is an absolute backbone of any collection.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that is the feeling you get when you strap on a gold rainbow Daytona.
It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's actually ridiculous.
So I'll tell you a little bit about that piece. So
Please.
We're very fortunate. We also have it in rose, but the rose we have at the moment is stickered. So I wanted to show you one you could wear. Now, the yellow is the OG of the Rainbow Daytonas. It came out first and it sort of claimed all the prizes. Elton John, loads of celebrities, LeBron James, Kevin Hart, they've all got it. And the sub-dials, interestingly, on that watch, a lot of people thought they were meteorite, but they're actually flakes of white gold that are then turned. So the colouring, when it hits the light, is another... And it's such a Marmite watch as well. So my first ever video was on this watch, and it's actually our most watched video. So check that out, guys, if you haven't.
Yeah.
But it's so polarising. The comments fascinate me. Some people are like, that is the worst watch I've ever seen. And then other people are like, I must have it. And I love that watch can spark such debate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
What I like to hear is people that can afford this, not to, separate anybody, but people that can afford it, what do they think about it? Because if you're in a position where you could buy it, I'd love to know what, because it's the same with RMs. I asked a guy and he was like, why do you think people don't like RMs so much? Why is it a polarizing brand? And he was just like, just because some people can't afford it. Yeah. I was like, interesting. Is it the same with this, do you think?
Yeah, interesting. I don't know either. I do think that it's definitely for people who sort of feel that they are coming to the end of the game, shall we say. Okay. So, like, they've had the Daytonas, they've gone all the way up, they've got to the platinum, they got to the platinum baguette, maybe they even got to one of the sort of special, like, Eye of the Tiger or something. But actually, where do you end on the Daytona? And I think it's probably at the Rainbow.
I think I'd agree. Have you seen the John Mayer video where he's like, I'm not the kind of guy that wears this, but like once you're a watch collector and you have an appreciation for watches and the craftsmanship and the amount of hours that go behind it, then you can really appreciate and actually be the person that does wear it for how it's made and how it's built.
You see, now I love that because the Rainbow Daytona wouldn't have necessarily been on my list when I was starting my watch journey. And then when I learned for 3.5 hours about it before I did my video, I became to love it even more. Yeah. So an interesting one, just a little fact about it, is that they have gemologists and gem setters that work together, to set the stones. And each one of them has to agree with the other that it's the right gradient for the stone next to it. So like you're talking like hundreds and hundreds of hours, even just deciding the stones are good enough. Yeah. And the amount that they would just not use for this is crazy.
And I think if you can appreciate that, you appreciate the watch for what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
More than just the fact that it's full of diamonds and it's got a rainbow gem set bezel. I'd love to know what qualifies someone to buy a rainbow. I'm sure they would have to have a long relationship with the AD, spent a lot of money, and I know that the AD has to put that person forward, and Rolex have to do the checks on that person instead of the AD.
And they have to do a 3-month vigil outside the Rolex HQ in a tent to say, I want a Rainbow Daytona.
Literally. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next, which is an AP.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I have one clue?
Yes, of course. Things might be getting a little frosty this time of year.
Okay, so this, I know what this watch is. It's the frosted rainbow open work, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. So we're extremely proud of this piece. I haven't seen anybody else with this particular one, and in my opinion, this is the absolute best. I mean, if you're gonna go top of the moon with the APs, then that's probably where you're going.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's
frosted royal oak, open worked rainbow.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I'm jealous that you get to see these watches every day. Like I'm here with like my basics every day, and you're just. It's really cool actually that you've got two rainbows of different brands.
So so this is actually an interesting video that I intend to do coming up. Is like, I mean, Rainbow. It all started with Rolex, right? They were the first to do it. So where does the AP fall in? But I actually, it's very controversial. But I prefer the gems on that one. I think they look nicer.
Because they're smaller?
I don't know. I can't decide what it is. I just love them. And the only thing is, obviously, you've got the screws in the middle, so it's not so continuous.
Yeah.
But you take the screws off of an AP,
it's not an AP.
Even an AP
it's not an
anymore.
AP.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was, I think a good choice by them.
Have you seen how the bracelet is actually frosted? Have you seen how AP do it? I think it's it looks like the watch is being destroyed.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
They're creating beauty and destroying it at the same time.
So again, thousands of hours of just hand whacking the metal. I think they have to heat it up first as well. So they stress it and then they hand. It's all on their website. You can actually see videos of them. Maybe we can get one up. Okay, so last one up. This will be really hard to guess, I think, because it's not on many people's radar, including mine. I was quite shocked to sort of see it. We actually, very fortunate, but we have it in both rose and yellow. But this today I have in rose, and it's a Rolex. Okay, I tell you what, it's in the same family as your Started It All For You watch. So it's the same model, but it's unique.
So it's a rose GMT?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's a special more.
I wouldn't be able to guess it. So that
is it some sort of like error or something?
No, it's not. It's just one that I mean, it's going to be difficult.
Is it a more vintage, older?
No.
Is it modern? Still for sale?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, whether it's been discontinued now, you'd be testing my knowledge. I would say probably not in the rose.
When I see it, I'm going to be like, oh.
Okay, it's coming out.
Go on.
Yeah. This is the GMT Master 2, and it's the Saru.
Oh, yes. Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love the bezel.
It's unreal.
And it's also, it's so silly because, you don't even have the the third time zone, sorry. So how you'd be using the second time zone with the hour hand and then you turn it to...
Yeah.
So the pilot can't use it to track his time at home and see how his family are doing.
The pilot with this pilot with this watch doesn't care about where he's going. He doesn't care about his family.
He's like, where to today?
Yeah, it's a cool watch.
It's a really cool watch.
Really cool. Yeah. And you're right, you can get this in yellow gold as well, can't you?
Yes. So we're very fortunate. We've got the rose and the yellow, but I wanted to show it to you in rose because we already had the yellow with the rainbow.
And it's similar to the yellow gold rainbow where you have to be the perfect client to get offered this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the reason I prefer the case profile of a GMT Master to a Daytona personally, because you know me, I'm a sucker for the sort of size, and I really do love the GMT. I always have, but I think Saru's crazy. It's a real mad.
I wonder how many of these watches Rolex make a year.
I would love to know.
Be interesting to know, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it can't be many because again, we rarely see them ourselves. And we were fortunate enough to see most pieces, but the Saru doesn't seem to come around as often. Have you also seen? I don't have it to show you today, but there is a white gold one that's now getting the nickname the Bruce Wayne. and it's kind of white gold with blue around the bezel. So I don't think it's new.
Just blue.
It might be blue and black.
Yeah, I've seen it.
We'll get a picture
Yeah,
up, but they're calling it the Bruce Wayne, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, is that? Yeah. Isn't there just a black one as well called like the tuxedo or something?
Yes, there is, and I've never seen that in person either. So
never.
you see, that's the thing. Is just what I love about what we do in our world. Is like there's still little things like Pokemon. Like I want to catch them all.
Yeah.
There's so many things I haven't seen that I still want to see. And it's like ticking off little boxes throughout your career. Like I've tried that one on. I've worn it. I've seen it.
This has honestly been amazing. I have to say thank you just for you showing me these watches.
It's an absolute pleasure.
I think anyone would be super grateful to be able to see all these, so I have to say thank you.
Hey, it's a total honour. Guys, I've probably said it already, but I'm going to say it again. If you haven't checked out Phil's channel, please do. And please watch the interview that we did together on there as well. That was a couple of months ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a great time. I do have a last couple of questions. One of them was going to be, so on Phil's channel, so we want you guys to go and check that out. On his channel, he's had some incredible guests, and I'm not talking about myself. He's had Nico, he's had James McVeigh, which is the lead singer of the Vamps, so these huge names and really amazing guests, and I wondered if you might tell us a little bit about how that all happened and where it sort of all started for you, because I know obviously you did the backpack dealer, you did the vlogging, you did all that kind of stuff. But where did you wake up one day and just say, I'm going to put this on YouTube. I'm going to do a podcast. How did you kind of?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, to be honest with you. Like, why does anyone want to go in front of a camera? It's a strange thing. Yeah. Especially when no one's watching you at the beginning. It's a very strange thing to do. But
I know the feeling all too well.
Right. But no, you're right. Like, I've been so lucky to speak to people like yourself, Nico, like these famous celebrity people, and the reason why I've been able to do that is nothing to do with me. It's because of these chunks of metal. Yeah. Because we all have this shared common interest in watches, and it connects us in a very, very strange way. Yeah. So I've been lucky to speak to artists, musicians, athletes, other big watch dealers like Nico, and it's cool. We just talk about watches, and I'll just say, do you want to come on a video and talk about watches?
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And Phil, if you don't mind me saying, I'd like to say that one of the things of why me and Phil have got on so well is that we consider ourselves to be from a kind of newer school where we want to try and collaborate as much as possible with other people. So if any guys are out there and you want to do some collaborating videos, reach out to Phil, reach out to me. We're very pro. We want to kind of move it forward and catch up with the US a bit. We sort of thought, didn't we?
Yeah, it's true. The US are really good on YouTube. Collabing.
The more interesting people that kind of come and get involved, and we can go to new heights and show off new exciting things, because at the end of the day we do this all for the audience. We want to make them happy, and we'll do anything.
It's true, we will do anything.
We'll do anything.
So please like this video right now and subscribe for Oscar.
Exactly that. So it can sometimes be a pretty brutal job at times, can't it? So on the YouTube analytics, I was discussing with you how I can see the moment people go, I've had enough of this video, I don't want to watch this guy anymore, and then next week want to try and make it a bit better and do a bit better.
You can't take anything personal with YouTube.
Absolutely, you can't. So last question then, where do you sort of see your journey going? So let's have what do you want to do in the next year, and then what do you want to do in the next 5 years?
I'm not one to be like, I want to have this in a year, this in 5 years. Like, for me, this would be amazing, but I don't have a goal to have all of this. No. I'm quite happy to have, I like to view my business and my YouTube as like a lifestyle business. So instead of having it as the business first and I have a set location and the business is there, I like to have it as where it all fits around my lifestyle, if that makes sense. So if I need to travel or live somewhere else, for example, the business can continue, but it all fits around me and what I want. So I still want the freedom. But I don't know, I want to continue to sell watches, continue to do some YouTube videos with people like yourself, have fun. The day that I'm just like, I don't want to do this, I probably won't do it. No matter how much money it makes or whatever, I just want to have fun with it. We're so lucky that we get to do this.
We are so
Considering
lucky.
what we used to do in the world of finance, believe it or not.
So we were both in jobs that we would call boring, I think. So that's quite a unique thing that we've both got going on. So thank you so much. It means the world to have you as our first guest here in Jardin du Mayfair. Phil Reid, everybody. Check out his channel. He's a special guy, and thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.